All right, hello people from the internet. The time has come for me to play on stream once again. And so we come back to this character with an Executioner Saxo speed. And I am noticing 0.8 attack delay, and I wonder what is up with that. Why was it 0.8 at times? Man, I still cannot believe that mountain dwarfs get to enchant artifacts. That sounds perfect for my current situation, you know? Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. 20% chance to put me to sleep. Hey, look at that. It's the reason why I don't really play crawl that much anymore. One, two, three, four, five misses in a row because nothing is certain in this game. It's just an RNG mess. You have about 50% chance to hit. 50%. How likely is it for me to miss a 50% 5 times in a row? That's 25 to. Is it like a 3% chance, or am I wrong? Um, no idea. Let's see if I can make it. No, okay. So I miss 5 times, and then the sixth time I do hit. Okay, um, one. The variance. Like sometimes I did get a streak of hits, like 2 or 3 hits in a row, but not 5 hits in a row. Hmm. I could have probably played that a little bit better. Doesn't really matter. I emerged victorious. Didn't really use any consumables. I have 1 pip of every resistance and really good armor class, so I'm mostly safe here. I also have repel missiles, so we are in a really good shape for dealing with this place. I would like to believe. I think that no single enemy is like, oh, that is messed up. Like that's gonna kill me. No single enemy. Of course, combinations of enemies will get me to that point if I am careless. But if it's only a black mamba and an anaconda at the same time, I should be perfectly capable of dealing with them. Man, that ring of the smoking genius is so good. Hmm. I was not expecting those guys to deal that much damage to me. Huh. I guess that I have 26 armor class, but it still may not be enough, especially combined with the low evasion that I have. Would be nice if I had a little bit more evasion, but you cannot really have everything in this game, and I chose to train invocations, evocations, and axes and armor, and now we're training fighting. Beyond, what I have to train to get out of the early game. Um, I should be fine here, I would like to believe. Okay, maybe that shock serpent is pushing it a bit too much. I would love it if the whirlwind triggered more often, because I feel like it triggers at the end of the fight, and it's not really that impactful. I feel like it is probably gonna get buffed, because the other ones were like a pretty certain thing that was gonna happen if I did certain things. This one is like, oh, there's a very small chance of something that is not even that strong happening. To be fair, it does happen for free. It doesn't cost piety, unlike the other mutations that McClef offered me. Hmm, Whenever you kill an enemy in melee, there's a small chance. Yeah, that is a very important part that I missed when I picked the mutation. I read small chance and I assumed that it was going to be not a small chance. Um, yeah, how many enemies do I have to kill for that to happen? It really is quite annoying that it doesn't happen. And yeah, if I was playing a weaker character, this would be immensely painful. But the kind of fight that gets me to low HP is not really like the average fight. It's more like I am getting into a fight with things that I probably be shouldn't be fighting the way that I am fighting, and that's why it is hurting me. Branded chainmail. Yeah, I'll bite. Of course, it is disappointing. The tree slay is not bad at all, but it's plus two plate. It's plus two plate. I don't think we can pass on plus two plate. Ah, man, if wait, I just remembered that I can enchant that. I mean, it's still kind of whack that it is so underpowered. You think I should wear it? Let's give it a try for a bit. 21-8. It is quite the nerf to my armor class, which I do not feel comfortable with, so I'm not gonna use it. The gloves, rampaging, the boots of regen. Oof, okay, those are good. And the globes of rampaging. I don't think I want the globes of rampaging. Um, we're not really casting that much anymore. Like I still have the ability to cast blink if I so desire. Hey, we get +6 chainmail with regen. That is really good. We can put that on. Okay, I lose. No, I gain one evasion, and of course I get regen. Um, the -2 strength probably doesn't really matter. Yeah, what a nice combination of things to have. Now I have three sources of regen. I regen 2.85 HP per turn, almost three. I feel kind of godly, not gonna lie. And this is all that we were that we were given. Fortunately, like the game decided to be generous. A pretty generous piece of software today, and well, not today, but more like yesterday. I got three acquirements very early, and then I got today a chance to cash in on all that money that I acquired. Because if you remember, I acquired money like once or twice. I'm not exactly sure which one it was, but I did acquire money at least once. And I mean, I don't think I even need to fight you. I don't think I would lose. Yeah, 2 times 3 dice of 20. I still don't think that I would lose. But I don't need to fight that guy. The loot inside there is completely worthless. This time the execution, the whirlwind triggered super fast. How long does this weak debuff last? It would be nice if it wore off shortly after you kill the caster. Like I feel like it doesn't make sense that it lasts for that long. Oh, and I also get flight, man. This character really is like busted in all the right ways. I have a crazy weapon. I have a crazy armor, crazy resistances. Like the only thing that I'm really missing is, wow, is that another pair of boots with regen? Man, these have harm. That is dangerous. And also Dex -5, which, yeah, going to 5 dexterity is definitely not what I'm interested in, but 2 pips of cold resistance. I mean, I guess they might be worth carrying around. Um, in case I get into like an ice cave or something, that would give me 3 pips. And harm definitely doesn't like offset the damage reduction of the 3 pips. I worded that in a pretty weird way. A better way to put it is like the cold resistance more than offsets the damage increase from wearing harm. Um, in such a situation, like in an ice cave. In regular crawl gameplay, I'm not sure, and that's why I am not wearing them right now. Um, but they're like decent enough for me to not want to drop, you know. So we're gonna stick with them for a bit. I don't think that I got any portal bolts in this snake. We're about to be over here, and also this Nagaraja is kind of killing me. But we have blink. You blink free of the Nagaraja. Beautiful. Now we have ice blast. So I'm gonna do that, and that kills the Nagaraja. Um, very spooky. That dealt quite a bit of damage. Guardian Serpent. I don't want to get surrounded. Just gonna. Okay, we get to 18 fighting. When I started the stream, I was like 13 fighting or something like that. It wasn't that high. Now let's get some dodging. Yeah, like let's get like 8 dodging. See if we can get to like 2 digits of evasion. Would be neat. Because I am really strong, but I feel like things are just hitting me very consistently, and like they're not making me explode, right? But if I get hit for like 25 turns in a row, that's pretty bad. And I feel like it's happening quite consistently. Mm, I have so much regen that I don't even need to rest. I can just keep going. Quicksilver Dragon. This guy's gonna get rid of my weakness. That's pretty neat. I am in a rather inconvenient position here because this Quicksilver Dragon is kind of scary. It is pretty good at hitting really hard. Like it may say 3 dice of 20 Quicksilver Bolt, and I guess you cannot see it in the screen capture or like on the spectator window. It doesn't matter. 3 dice of 20 Quicksilver Bolt. It's not resisted by any immunities or resistances, so it's always 3 dice of 20. And yeah, I think that's pretty nasty. Oh boy. Whew, okay. Um, that was a little bit intense. Surprisingly, the Quicksilver Dragon didn't really do anything. Yeah, like it didn't really deal that much damage, but we're still not out of the frying pan. I maybe should think about hasting here. Like I have 6. I have 6 and I feel like it is the correct thing to do. Um oh boy, this is getting really nasty. This would be the greatest time for something along the lines of immolation, condenser vein, but we don't have that. And I think that I have yet to buy that Train of Tremor Stones. Yeah, I should really have it for specifically this situation. Well, let's go with Immolation because we do have that at least. And then Ice Blast. And then Ice Blast again. And that kills the things that it needs to kill. Beautiful. Yeah, this like well, it's not. It doesn't feel like I am completely certain that I'm fighting in the room vault, and this is quite an annoying occurrence. Unfortunately, I don't have any way to heal fast other than Ambrosia. I don't know if I should Ambrosia here. It feels like it could be a dangerous thing to do. I'm gonna go for it. I am really, really healing now, so okay. We're no longer Ambrosia'd. Big damage, even though I'm weakened. There we go. Kite Shield of Protection. If I was able to use a shield, I would like to maybe use that one. That went well. I mean, I didn't die. I didn't burn through consumables. I didn't use all my scrolls of blinking like yesterday. So we're doing well. We're doing well. And I get the rune. And we only saw one Quicksilver Dragon. That is nice because I remember that bolt having two. Um, I guess it got nerfed at some point or something, or maybe it never has to. I don't know. I remember it having two. Why do you have repel missiles? Is that a thing that you do now, or something? Why does everyone have repel missiles? I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't have projectiles. Polter Guardian. Yeah, this guy gives repel missiles, doesn't it? Repel missiles aura. Their base presence shelters other creatures from missiles, and it also has force lance. Okay. Um, I wonder what is up with this execution thing. I feel like when I have it on, I do kill things a lot faster. And it says that it's only base damage 12. I wonder how it scales, or if it scales at all. Maybe it's just 12 base damage and that's it. Um, there's a small chance for it to awaken, and then when it awakens, every time that you swing, the blades also swing. So it's gonna scale really hard with my executioner sacks once I get it to min delay. Which, by the way, maybe should be the next thing that I do. Maybe we just get this to 24. Yeah, but first dodging. We're at 8 dodging now. It's going up very slowly, not steadily. Well, I guess steadily, but it's going up pretty slowly. Do I want to fight Senata and Pals? No. No, I don't. So we're gonna read Atelier here. I don't want to fight Senata and Pals. I could fight Senata alone. But Senata and Pals? Not really. Not interested. And that is okay about Crawl. I do not mind retreating from like a bad situation that is so obviously bad, right? Um, but what I do not like is when like just like random stuff happens to be bad situations. That or I should be more precise with that. I feel like when you have a weak character, it's pretty painful to play the game because there's more and more situations that most other characters could deal with that your weak character just like has to run away from. Like that is painful. And I think that I may have exhausted my patience with this game, so I don't really feel like I can really play lots of those kinds of characters. Um, Senata looks as sick as possible, so let's just go ahead and tab. Let's see if we can win. My Senata is doing okay. The enemy Senata is pretty roughed up. All right, that went well. It was a little bit scary because Senata found me while I was at like 130 HP. I was not at full HP. But since it was only Senata, I figured that I could do it. And yeah, 2 Curares later, I was able to get rid of her. Yeah. Once again, my bad habit with access comes to surface. Like I am often thinking, oh yeah, like I am an axe user. I am capable of fighting while surrounded. In fact, that gives me more damage per turn. But that line of thinking very quickly can kill you because you're getting hit by more things. And you might be getting hit by more things faster than you can kill those things. So yeah, that's pretty bad. All right. Little bit of repositioning with Blink, and we can easily kill those guys. Um, I had Shatter from super early in the game, but it's not like my melee was bad or something. My melee was okay since you remember I got the Brodak super early, and then Acquirement got me this Executioner's Access Speed. I cannot believe that I considered not using it, but I was not keeping in mind that Deep Dwarf get this ability to, enchant enchant the artifacts. Um, yeah, enchanting an Executioner's Access Speed that is a Randart really changes everything. I don't think I can rebrand them, however, so I'm just gonna drop these brand weapons. I know that I'm never gonna use them because I don't think I'm ever gonna switch away from these Executioner's Access Speed. Um, what I should do is get it to 24. Okay, so now we are at 9 evasion. If I keep pushing my dodging training a bit, I could get to 10 evasion, but I think that my experience is probably better spent at this point getting access, as I already said. Um, Ideally, by the end of Bolts, I should already have it, but probably not gonna have it, especially since I spent the experience of Bolts 1 training dodging. Hello, Spindart. Thank you for stopping by. We have the Desolation of Salt here. Mm, I have repel missiles, so the scariest thing that the War Gargoyle can do, which is it's like stream of iron shrapnel or whatever it's called. That shouldn't really be that much of a concern. You're in D8 and you have 6 scrolls of acquirement. Someone got even more blessed than I did. But have you gotten anything good from them? Because there's that, right? Like you may have gotten 6 acquirements, but what is the point of getting 6 acquirements if none of the acquirements give you anything good? Um, and this really feels like Berserk, but a lot safer. Oof, I got hit hard there. 37. Seriously, 37. Maybe I should be wearing that thing that gives me 2 pips of resistance to cold. Lotney. 3 months on ahead. That's crazy. Thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate them. I'll play the tournament. That I promise. I don't know if I'll play much crawl after September. But I'll play the tournament. I do promise that. They were all bad. 6 acquirements and they were all bad. Yeah, not everyone can get executioner's access speed as a mountain dwarf from acquirement. It feels weird to say mountain dwarf after literally years of saying deep dwarf. Like it's pretty strange on Norris, Phantom Mirror. You have watched so many of my YouTube videos on Crawl already. I am glad that you have enjoyed them. You don't have repel missiles, do you? Okay, you don't have resistance to poison, do you? Let's try some curare, you know. Okay, we have flying, so I'm not fumbling. I got confused. How did you have confused melee? Yeah, you do have confused melee. Little bit spooky. Curing? Oh, come on. Like, I insist, that kind of thing only triggers when you don't really need it to trigger. In this case, it did kill those guys, but like, I would love it if it triggered faster. And should I go in? I really feel like I shouldn't go in. It is the Desolation Assault. This place sucks. I know this place sucks. This place has never not sucked, and I have a strong enough run that I don't need the Hail Mary boost that the Desolation Assault offers. I love floods as well. What was that? 31? That's nasty. Gonna go for a pal. So the servitor is not silenced. Can hit me with that 3D32 bombard, but most likely um, 6 dice 22 plasma beam. That could be a little bit of a problem. The bombard I am not so afraid since I have repel missiles. Your green death dies. Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess that could have been me. Um, Come on, stop missing, Frederick. There we go. Okay. Okay. Things are getting a little bit sketchy here. I'm gonna go for Ice Blast. Because try dodging that explosion. The Orb of a Labyrinth. Well, I unfortunately don't get to wear a shield this time, so yeah, I don't think that I care about going to Salt. Salt is a pretty nasty place, as I have already said. Mm, did you just recall? Yes. Okay, so that means that I should probably use this Scroll of Immolation and follow it up with Unleash Destruction. This is the first time that I get to 6 pips of piety with Numaklev, and I am enjoying it. I do, however, have to say that it is a bit unfortunate that the cost of the ability scales with your max HP. Like, that feels whack. Um, Beautiful. Nothing beats blowing things up in a chain reaction with immolation in this game. Like that is one of the greatest things that you can do. It is more satisfying than casting a level 9 because the level 9, once you get it, it's like, yeah, every fight I'm gonna press my level 9 and things are gonna die, right? And so it kind of loses its charm. But going for a big immolation play, that never gets old. Wow, the 650 got absolutely dumpstered here. What do the purple ones do? They just deal more damage? So yeah, Plotny, if you're still here, are you not a fan of Rift Wizards? Just out of curiosity, I personally like Rift Wizard a lot. I feel like it is probably close to the pinnacle of turn-based, tile-based games. Like roguelikes. In terms of combat, like I think it's very hard to beat what Rift Wizard brings to the table. Um, I do understand that there's things that Rift Wizard straight up averts that people might be too into, but I feel like if you like Crawl, Rift Wizard just does the things that Crawl does well, but it also like does them better than Crawl, which already is kind of high praise because Crawl does things that the Crawl does a lot of things, a lot of combat, specifically way better than most other roguelikes. Not all of them, especially like the old ones, taking into account that this like started development in like 2006, and it's mostly the same in terms of its combat mechanics. There's games from even after Crawl release that like don't have this level um, of polish and quality in its combat. And yeah, that's the thing that carries this game. How enjoyable the combat is. I feel like these guys will kill me if I do not seriously respect them. Okay. I did respect them. I threw pretty much everything I had at them, and it worked out very well. Sweet. Come on. I don't want Desolation Assault. What I want is a Wislav, yeah, I would do a Wislav, but I do not care about Desolation Assault. Brief Wizard is mostly not for you, but you respect it and you like watching it personally. What makes it into a game that is not for you? Just out of curiosity, because it is very much a game for me, and so I do not see like maybe some flaws or just like things not to your liking. Yeah, I'm always interested in hearing why people do not like Rift Wizard specifically. Resource management, maybe spells run out. In that regard, you might be interested in two. In Rift Wizard 2, you get back everything at the end of a level. But like potions and like consumables in general, that doesn't come back. But your spell charges and your HP does regen to full every level. Um, Rift Wizard 2 and Rift Wizard 1 are very different games off of that change alone. Like, there's more changes between 2 and 1, but that change alone already makes it so that, like, 1 is never going to be, like, an obsolete game when you compare it to 2. Both of them will always be replayable for different reasons, which is nice. Um, I have regen, so I think I can run away from these guys for a bit. Um, just like kite them for a second. Somehow this guy's catching up to me. I have no idea why or how it is catching up to me. And then he gets killed by the 650, and then the other one also gets killed by the 650. Let's go. All right, 650 for the win. Stronger than an executioner. Another gang of Dire Elephants. That's terrible. Hearth of Dire Elephants, I suppose. But yeah, I that thing that you mentioned, the resource management in Rift Wizard, I enjoy it. I personally like that kind of thing. Like squeezing ultimate value out of everything as much as possible. Um, in fact, I struggle with games that offer you that option, but when that option is not like the correct thing to do. Example, right now, like I'm using these executioner sacks, and if I fight while I am surrounded, I'm technically doing maximum damage per turn, but at the same time, I'm just gonna die in like 2 turns because I'm surrounded, right? So that's exactly what I mean with that. I made a mistake. Huh. I figured that I would try random blink, see if it placed me close to the Stellate trap, and since it didn't, I think I can just stall for a bit and random blink again. Yeah, why not do this? Alright, the Entropy Weaver didn't destroy me. It did get 2 stacks of corrosion on me. Um, through my resistance to corrosion. That's okay. Um, oh, you know what? I hadn't thought about it, but like the reason why by the time I'm ready to continue fighting, my debuffs haven't worn off is because I just have 3 regen per turn. So like I'm gonna be back to full HP in like 3 turns. Of course that's not gonna be enough time. Yeah, hadn't thought about it until now. I was like, this weakness is lasting forever in Snake, but it's only until now that it clicked. Um, Man, things are going really well. Look at this character sheet. The only thing that I'm missing is another source of willpower, so I don't get just like exploded by anything that can hex me hard. But that can be remediated by drinking a potion of willpower. Potion of flight willpower. Mm, no, I don't think I care about any of those things. Maybe if it was a ring of 7 strength and -5 intelligence, that would be pretty interesting since I'm wearing a base ring of fire resistance. But it is not the case, so we're gonna leave it behind. You respect the Rift Wizard type resource management, but you're a sloppy player. Difficulty can come from many places, and some of them you just haven't gotten into. There are bad ways to do it or anything. If you keep playing, you would probably come to enjoy it. Just a time investment, a different skill emphasis. Yeah, and you mentioned something really important there, time investment. It took me a couple of years to understand this, but like there comes a time in life in general where people just don't have enough time to dedicate to something as niche as a roguelike, right? So like because of that, I feel like people enjoy those kind of grindy games where yeah you're grinding, but you are also getting rewarded for grinding. Where in crawl, you might get really good at crawl, but you can always get completely hosed. Not necessarily out of nowhere, but it can definitely feel out of nowhere at times. Come on, Maclev, give me a nice heal. I'm killing a lot of things here, or at least trigger my thing that yeah that thing. I should be careful with the ancient champ. In fact, I'm not gonna, or yeah, I'm gonna try to use this redback as a mid shield, so the ancient champ doesn't destroy me. Okay, I have the resistance, but I'm at 100 HP. I could blink, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that I land here, which is really bad, and a 2 in 3 chance that I land here, which is really good. I can wait a bit, like, aha, that removes the chance for a bad blink. Yeah, just be patient a bit for a second, and we're still pretty good. Yeah. I have 1 heal wounds. There's been a couple of situations where I've been like, I want to heal. I want to use heal wounds, but I just don't have it. Um, mm, Go for the charm. Oh, I lost the rampaging thingy. You feel a little less murderous for the moment. Not the greatest moment for that to stop being a thing. Nicola is full HP. I think that we can Phantom Mirror Nicola. Would be great if Nicola went for the Chain Lightning here. Like my Nicola. Oh, Nicola dies. Delightful. You know what? There is something that I should be doing that I haven't done. Yeah, why have I not used Immolation in combination with Unleash Destruction? Look at that damage. Yeah, right. Whatever you say, Nicola. A little bit of damage. I think we can finish this off by going for a Wand of Ice Blast. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, we're not done yet. We still have to deal with this Ancient Champ. But through this fight, I have regen so much HP. Having 3 regen per turn and Maklev is kinda bonkers. I won that pretty convincingly without using haste or anything. If I had used haste, this would have been significantly less tricky. But I think that the deciding factor in this fight was when I waited to get like the correct blink, and then that blink won me this fight. If I had stayed where I was, I probably wouldn't have won the fight. Yeah, man, when Crawl is good, Crawl is really enjoyable. Like I did not dislike this. This was great. But this kind of thing is like few and far between. Like this kind of situations are few and far between. If Kroll was always like this, and then that's what I really like about Rift Wizard, which I feel is always like this, then I would like Kroll quite a lot more than I currently do. Um, so yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed that as much as I did. Um, do I have attraction? I do have attraction. Yeah, let's just pull these guys into the fire. I got marked again. I mean, what is there in the level for me to be afraid of at this point? Like, I've already killed. Well, I killed Nicola. What is there for me to be afraid of? Not to mention that I feel like this is one of the best positions for me to be fighting things in, because I have a corridor. I have the execution thing from Maklev. Like, theoretically, I am very favored in many versus one fight while I am in a corridor. And yep, that went very well. Saint Roca. Okay, finally Mindalay on the axe. I think that now we get like 18 of these and then 24 of these. It's Mindalay on the axe already, right? Yeah, 0.4 and cannot be improved with additional weapon skill. Okay, Saint Roca is kind of bonking me pretty hard. Or is it Saint Roca? Yeah, it is Saint Roca. Saint Roca hits you with for 30 with a heavy dart flail. That is not the greatest thing to be hit by, especially when I am at 100 HP and Saint Roca is pretty much full HP. We don't want to deal with that. Yeah, went for the tele there, and I think that was correct. I think that was a correct tele. If I had been fighting Saint Roca in a corridor yet again, I feel like I would have won, but not while surrounded. And definitely not while Saint Roca is accompanied by Mighty Knights. This must be the rest of Saint Roca's band. And once again, hits me for 50? Seriously, gets me for 50? That's crazy. I'm gonna reposition a bit. And then we go for the blink. I could go downstairs. I could also buy some time since I have so much regen. Like I can just pillar dance for us for a bit. and I'll be back to full. Yeah, bring it on. Okay, now we are going to go for Curare, which I hadn't done before. We're gonna Curare Saint Roca. Uh-huh. And we're gonna Curare this aid as well. In fact, if I can kill the knight, that would be quite convenient. I'm gonna position so that Saint Roca cannot shoot me. Hmm. Mighty Saint Roca hit me for 41 now. Yeah, please stop doing that. If I had a net, this would be a great time to use it. But no net, no net. You know what? I should summon a guy. We get a Sun Demon. Saint Roca dies, beautiful. I lost some curare, yeah, lost some curare. I am at 3 curare. But it's pretty nice that I still have curare. I have been using it quite a bit versus scary monsters, powerful uniques. Um, when I started training Axis, I was in like Bolts 2. I was at 18, and I was like, I don't think that is gonna be enough experience left in the rest of Bolts for me to get to 24. It took me 2 floors. I went from 18 Axis at the start of Bolts 2 to 24 Axis at the end of Bolts 3. Bolts really has so much experience. It's kind of crazy at times. But yeah, great thing for me to have a min delay on my Exacax. We really shouldn't have any issues in most of these fights. As long as I don't take like a really silly fight, we should be fine because I am offensively like an absolute machine. But in defense, like yeah, only 26-9 defenses, no shield. Things could get pretty sketchy. But yeah, that's pretty rough, Spin Dart. 6 acquirements and not getting one item that is like decent. Acquirements can be pretty disappointing at times, but I feel like the current acquirements are at least less disappointing than the older ones. Because in the older acquirements, you could get, like, you had the option of the item type, but you could get actual garbage from them. Wow, this Bolt 4 had like no experience compared to the rest of the Bolts. Um, you got one item, but it was an anti-magic item, and you're playing a summoner. Funnily enough, I too got anti-magic earlier, earlier in the character yesterday in the stream. Um, yeah, that thing. Plus 0 War Axe of anti-magic. I bought it, and it was super disappointing. Plus 11 Quick Blade with anti-magic resistances. That's a pretty strong item. I would probably think about using it, like just limit my summons to like, or like maybe train a little bit of spell casting to get as much mana as possible to summon whatever I feel like I want to summon, and just like build kind of tanky as well, so I can tap alongside my summons because that is a pretty good quick blade. You find some slaying with that, and yeah, you're gonna be killing a lot. And I guess you could like diversify into maybe poison magic or something, um, so you can kill things with high armor class that the quick blade would be bad against, or iron shot or something like that. Yeah, that item has potential. Like that is actually strong enough to consider, or at least that's how it looks to me. Um, should I do elf? It says 6% chance to banish me. I like those odds. Let's go to elf. I have 1 pip of every resistance and repel missiles. I feel like I can do elf. Nice. This time the Maklev ability triggered super fast. I mean, it triggered against effectively popcorn, but it still killed the popcorn faster than if it hadn't triggered. Mm. Okay, this is not Saint Roca's band. We know that it is not because I already killed Saint Roca. Just a bunch of guest appearances of orcs in Elf for some reason. People sometimes like well, not sometimes, but like the community sometimes mentions, not people, the community sometimes um, is like, why are you not casting spells on your character that is not really restricted in casting spells? And well, at least it feels to me that it is a better investment of my experience in making myself, more tanky than in getting spells. Not to mention that I also got Maklev, so Maklev got me covered in that range combat department. Like I can just use Maklev abilities. You probably could switch to the quick blade and probably shoot, but you just want to try the new stuff. There's new stuff for summoners. For a second, I thought that I was gonna get shafted there. You know what? Two dancing weapons is a bit too much to deal with low evasion. Oh wait, I was gonna retreat and heal to full, but I got the Maklev ability, but it wore off really fast. Ooh, I can get my exec axe to +9. In fact, I didn't need to buy that. I had already um, glows red for a while. Is that how the game lets you know that you cannot enchant it further? Enchanting this artifact any further is beyond even your skills. That is a nice line of text. You're trying these menos with summoners. When I tried these menos, I was doing launcher stuff. These menos with launcher stuff, and let me tell you that it went pretty well, even though I was a kobold. And I intended on going for the stabby playstyle, you know? When I started that kobold, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some stealth and I'm gonna stab some monsters and it's gonna be okay. And then we got a Narvalest on like D4 in that character, and I was like, okay, I mean, if Kroll's telling me to use this Arbalest on D4, like, who am I to say no to Kroll, right? Um, I can, however, say I'm gonna play a different game if this guy banishes me. But I cannot say no to D4 Arbalest as a Kobold, right? Okay, it hasn't banished me yet. That's nice. Man, I feel like it could be a waste to Phantom Mirror this guy since it takes kinda forever for it to come back up. I'm gonna Ice Blast it. There we go. We killed the Distortion guy, and it doesn't banish me. But I would have definitely not quit the character. Like at this point, I'm strong enough to survive the abyss, probably without a lot of complications. But I don't really want to do it. Yeah. So I would have definitely closed the game and played like Rift Wizard or something. Well, not Rift Wizard. I already played Rift Wizard yesterday. I probably would have played a little bit of Isaac. We can, however, Phantom Mirror this Asterion guy. Asterion too is a worshipper of Maklev. I wonder if with the rework of Maklev, did you get something fancy? Like, yeah, I feel like Asterion could use a teeny tiny bit of a rework. Like maybe Asterion gets like I have the mark of execution. Maybe Asterion could get a mark of his as well. You're liking it, to be honest, that this is helping summons a lot. The reduced noise, or what makes it so that it helps summons a lot? Ah, Asterion conjures a destructive force in the name of a cliff. The orb of electricity explodes, and Asterion dies. That is really funny because that used to happen for real. Way, way back in the day, Maclef used to have that ability as something that you could get when you use Maclef Greater Destruction. Um, Even before the rework that was removed. Um, all right, Elf 3 time. When you summon, did Shadow also summons? Oh, I mean, I guess it's like a chance for Did Shadow to also summon, right? No way, it's a real like 100% chance for the Did Shadow to always summon if you summon, because if so, that would be really strong. Um, but even the chance of the Deep Shadow copying that is pretty good. Definitely makes it so that you can go deep on more than only one kind of character, or like it extends this to even summoners, which yeah, summoners didn't really have that many gods that they could go for. This is the Elf 3 Bolt, isn't it? I kind of don't feel like dying at the moment, so I'm just gonna get out of here. Fogu, blink away, maximizing my chances to land in a spot where I was not gonna get completely destroyed by these guys. Um, I love that these guys no longer get the thing that destroys the walls. Like it took many versions, but they finally got rid of that. Now they have a thing that prevents you from running away, which is probably a bit more interesting than just destroying your corridor. Wow, that's a lot of lost souls. Like a million of them. Why are there so many lost souls here? Not 100%, but it seems incredibly high chance. You only have 4 summons, Imp, Spark, Canine, and Small Mammals. If you summons Imp, Spark, Canine, it you usually get 2 summons from Mimic. From the spells, I can tell that it's like early in the game. Um, so it might be like more of a boosted chance for you to get that kind of thing compared to like projectiles and summon or projectiles and spells. Because in my game it wasn't copying my things that often. Um, it was copying them. It's not like it wasn't doing anything, but it wasn't that frequent. Um, wow, that was intense. There were a lot of explosions happening there. But my HP is just not dropping because I am that powerful. Um, Now, one of these guys had a pretty crazy amulet. This amulet of the uplifting gods. I think that we can throw away regen because we have 3 sources of regen to be perfectly fair. I think we can go to 2 sources of regen and just put on this amulet of the uplifting gods. And now I have 3 slaying. I regen 2 per turn instead of 3 per turn. That is okay. Yeah. Wait a second. Another random ring. The weakness to cold I do not love. But on the other hand, I have items. But like, oh man, like I was thinking, I like the extra strength. I don't like the weakness to cold. The weakness to cold is bad. But I have body armor that I could put on and enchant at this point that gives me cold resistance. But if I do that, I lose another source of regen, and I don't know how comfortable I am with losing 2 sources of regen. After all, I have gone through a substantial part of the game with 3 of them. I feel like going from 3 to 1 could be enough of a shock that it kills me. So this ring is interesting. I'm gonna keep it in mind. If I find like another source of cold resistance that doesn't require me to lose regen. I am carrying boots of harm, 2 pips of cold resistance. The issue with those is, of course, the -5 dexterity. You know what? Like, I'm not gonna use them. I was carrying them for um, for a nice cave, and I don't think we're gonna get a nice cave. Nice. You block the crystal spear and reflect it back, and it hits the annihilator. What were the odds of that with 5 shield? Um, I have to mention that when I decided that I wanted this amulet, I didn't really think of the reflection property. I thought of the slaying. I was like, yeah, I think that I can sacrifice regen and only regen for 3 slaying. Um, and like so far, my decision has paid off. By the way, we just found a ring of slaying. Am I willing to sacrifice fire resistance for 4 slaying? Yeah, sure. Let's run with that for a while. If I find myself exploding spontaneously from fire stuff, then I'm gonna go back to my ring of fire resistance. But I feel like against things that are not fighty, we are gonna have a good time. What is this soul splinter spell? Like I'm not gonna learn it, but I wanna see what it is because I think that's new. Oh, it is a low level spell. Soul Wisp. The victim will be weakened until the wisp reverts to where it belongs, nominally under the necromancer's control, who focuses attacks foremost on the creature it was created from. Huh. Wisps created from more powerful souls have more damaging attacks but are always fragile. Do you think that this checks willpower? This reads like the kind of spell that checks willpower. Um, I hope it doesn't check willpower because it also reads kind of like a funny spell. And if it's a spell that checks willpower, it wouldn't really be that funny. Um, or slaying fire resistance. How many things am I willing to sacrifice for in the pursuit of endless slaying? Like I have 11 slaying at this point. At 25, 11. You know what? That's kind of okay. Actually, that's kind of okay. I don't go. I get 1 pip of fire resistance back. Okay, I'll stick with 11 slaying for a while. Um, I hope that I do not get punished for that. I already sacrificed 2 sources of regen for 2 sources of slaying. Wow, this ring is pretty decent. I'm gonna carry that. Um, yeah, look at this ring. The only bad thing that it has is -2 strength. Um, but on the other hand, it has resistance to electricity, 2 pips of fire resistance, a pip of cold resistance, and 7 mana. Yeah, that's gonna be a nice switch in for Sot. For the 2 pips of fire resistance. Like I put that on, and we don't have to worry about orbs of fire anymore. Um, I like it. And now we are going to Shoals. Ah, sure, whatever. I have flying, don't I? Wait, I have an item that gives me flying. This is the item that gives me flying. So I do like the idea of the scale mail that I just picked up. Like I kind of like it, but I'm gonna stick around with the flying item for shows at the very least. I like that Maklev allows me to press the quiver and kill hydras like that. And yep, this feels really, really powerful. I have zero point 0.4 attack delay, and I know that it is zero point 0.4 attack delay because I have min delay, I'm not wearing a shield, so no weird penalties that mess me up. And yeah, 55 damage rating at zero point 0.4 attack speed. That's pretty good. Jorgrun waiting for me in shoals. Yeah, I'm glad that it was not camping Snake because if this guy had been camping Snake, I would have probably died. Yeah. What do you have? You don't have distortion, do I? Do you? Okay, you have a trident of venom and a net. Somehow Jorgrun doesn't blow me up. That's really neat. Okay, harpies are definitely not gonna be a problem for me this time. Sometimes they can be quite problematic since they just surround you super quick, but this character, specifically versus harpies, I shouldn't really have that many problems while surrounded. Um, the large amount of slaying that I have as well contributes pretty good. What do I have? 7 slaying at the moment? Yeah, 7 slaying. Mm. And let me tell you that like I'm feeling the impact of that slaying that I have. I am killing things a lot faster. Yeah, right. I still have repel missiles, so these guys do not really concern me. I got to 10 evasion, finally 2 digits. Mm. Oh yeah, this feels like a strong character. If I was not I don't want to say out of shape, but like out of training with crawl, I feel like I could have easily won this in like 3 hours. Um, that's how strong the character has been so far. Getting put to sleep a bit too much, but at least it has not been followed up by Polyphemus or something silly like that. How am I held by a net over deep water and not drowning? Um, that's a lot of impalers, you know? Yeah, too many impalers for me to just want to fight them the honest way. So we just blink an ice blast. Yeah, we don't care about that. Not nearly as strong as what I have. And things should be looking okay for this character. I feel really powerful. Like there was a point where I had 0 blinkings. Fortunately, it was for less than a floor. I think that immediately after the fight that made me go to 0 blinkings, I found a blinking. So I've never really been in a situation where I'm like, I want to blink, but the game hasn't really generated any more blinks for me. So I guess I'm gonna die, which is nice. Definitely very benevolent of the game, as I have already said. 4% chance to banish me, so you're not gonna be doing that. But I can Phantom Mirror you, and then I'm gonna summon a dude. Yeah, only one dude. I think that only one dude is enough for Luis. I didn't really feel like I needed to do that, but you know, better safe than death. You're just praising the game so it doesn't gimp you. I mean, you gotta give it to the game when the game decides to be nice, because you can easily tell like when Crawl is not being nice to you. Um, but in this run, it's like being blessing after blessing. I run out of blinkings. All of a sudden, I find another one like immediately afterwards. I I'm starting the game and I find like a Randard War Axe in a shop, and then I find an acquirement that gives me an Executioner's Sax that is not even well enchanted, but I'm a Deep Dwarf or a Mountain Dwarf, so I just fully enchant it. Um, and like yeah, like this really is kind of crazy. It's a pretty strong run. It only took me like 2 attempts of Mountain Dwarf Fire Elementalist to get one going too. I tried Mountain Dwarf Monk like 7 times, and yeah, I was not getting anywhere. Um, to think that I started Mountain Dwarf Monk thinking maybe I can extend the duration of these accounts 100% win rate by playing Mountain Dwarf Monk, but yeah, it turns out that is not really the case. That didn't happen. Um, Yeah, the McLeod ability really does work like Berserkitis in the sense that you don't know when it's gonna happen, but at least it's not bad like Berserkitis is. Um, like if it triggers, worst case scenario, it doesn't do anything. Best case scenario, you kind of are seriously buffed for the remainder of the fight. Like it just happened. Um, Shoals is your graveyard more times than you'd care to admit. Oh yeah, it's my well, not necessarily my graveyard as well. Um, but like before I started streaming, I feel like Shoals was the absolute worst. Um, Shoals hasn't really gotten substantial buffs compared to the other branches, so I guess it's fallen off. It's still pretty dangerous. Like you can tell, I'm doing it as my second room branch after doing bolts for a reason. Like there's very rare occasions where I would start with Shoals as my first room branch. I need to have a very strange character that can do that. More often than not, a merfolk. But but it's not like I would never go for Shoals as my first rune. But much more often than that, I would just leave it for like as long as possible. In comparison, I was going to use Tin of Tremor Stones here, but I have not bought it yet. I need to go buy that. It would have been great for this place. In comparison, as I was saying, um, pretty nasty. In comparison, Swamp is a lot easier, a lot less dangerous. Hmm. Things are getting pretty complicated here. Unfortunately, I'm fighting 3 monsters that are almost dead, but I'm also almost dead myself. Okay, we should be fine. But I really want to kill those guys before leaving. Can I hit this guy with... Hmm. Alright. Yeah, the Impaler is gonna catch up to me. Unfortunately, the Impaler is also the healthiest one out of the bunch. Um, yeah, I should go for a scroll summoning here. Okay. You're gonna get killed by all of that. No way it doesn't get killed by all of that. Well, maybe if the Windrakes stop pushing it away. There we go. Yeah, that was sketchy, but it was also the Room Bolt, so understandable that it was that sketchy. I don't exactly know what was destroying me there. I think it was just the combination of Merfolk Impaler, Frost Giant. Yeah, there was also a Cyclops, but I don't think the Cyclops supported that much. Hmm. Here we can see a guy that came in here a bit too early. We can tell by the HP and general defenses. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. The Bardiche of Chaos is more scary. I don't really wanna open that, get instantly paralyzed, and just like killed by that guy. Um, so I'm not gonna open it. Besides, the bolt doesn't have anything for me. For you, it's Swamp. If you play melee, you don't get how to navigate those things that pull. Oh yeah, like the worms are super annoying. Swamp, I feel since the rework that it is the branch that like if you are any like if you're an average to weak roll character, Swamp is probably the easiest, but you have to be really careful. Like you can beat monsters one on one. The average encounter in Swamp is in a one on one versus a strong monster, and as long as you play that correctly and you don't pull other monsters while you're fighting it, you should be fine. But if you start pulling monsters, like two or three monsters in Swamp, it's like you're fighting two or three bands in pretty much any other branch. And that gets you killed really, really fast. Funnily enough, those hook worm guys that you mentioned are excellent at getting you to fight more than one thing at the same time. And so that makes them really scary. One of the strongest things that I can think of for dealing with them is just like quivering a wand of flame. You can make some steam and that will block their line of sight. Best case scenario, they just get cooked by the steam. So yeah, like that is probably one of the easiest and most powerful things that any character, literally any character, can do to deal with them. Um, and yeah, like it's a Wand of Flame. You're surely gonna have enough charges for it. By the way, I should have probably quivered my own Wand of Flame for this place. But yeah, now I have two runes. Let's just go do depths. And for my rune number three, I'm thinking maybe we do Bolts 5, but I don't know. I feel like Bolts 5 is a perfect way to kill a character. Like the kind of thing that maybe I should try to avoid. Because my other option is like the Abyss, right? And I feel like I would be okay dealing with the Abyss. Like we're not really weak like that, but we're not stealthy, so we're gonna just get into very lengthy fights. If I do go to the Abyss, I feel like I should just go back to 2-3 regen sources and just run away from everything. It is not often that a character that's coming into Depths 1 just taps down 3 stone giants at the same time. Yeah, I did have a corridor, to be perfectly fair, but I also did tap down 3 stone giants. Um, I should go buy that tin of Tremorstones. Like, come on, there's been so many situations where I've been like, I should be using the tin of Tremorstones right here, and I haven't. Uh, uh, oh, I cannot carry it. I'm carrying too many things. Mm, I guess we can get rid of that. I am tempted to get rid of 3, but the potion of 3 might be good in sod, so I'm gonna keep it around. I think Imbis can go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, and then we can pick up the Tin of Tremorstones and we can go back to the fray in depth. I have had that since so early in the game, and it wasn't even expensive. I've had the money for a while, and I just didn't go back and buy it. Vampire Knight plus halved willpower. That could have been disastrous. I'm feeling really strong now that I have 11 slaying. Who would have guessed that 11 slaying plus Executioner Sax's speed at min delay would be this powerful? Yeah, surely not me. It is rare for it to happen to me, but I've always thought that the best defense in Crawl is having overwhelming offense that kills things really fast. And yeah, in melee, it doesn't happen to me that often. It's much more easy to achieve that when you are a mage. But this character feels like it has that. The magic of 11 slaying plus speed execax once again. It is not a combo to disregard easily. It is that powerful. We get strength again, a little bit of extra damage. And yeah, like monsters are being thrown into the blender when they step next to me. We are at the point where I can actually just fight things while surrounded and I'm not throwing the game, which feels really strong. I would like to note that I'm not a fan generally of demon whips, or like not demon whips, of heavy brand, but this heavy demon whip is really good. Look at the damage rating and look at the attack delay. It is a one-handed weapon. Um, doesn't even get gifted that much in attack speed because the demon whip is super fast and because it has some really nice damage rating, like base damage. Um, it gets enhanced quite a bit by the heavy brand. So if there is a heavy weapon that I would be happy, very happy to get and to use for the entirety of a game, it's a heavy demon whip, absolutely. Um, but I'm not gonna use it this time because I have a speed execax and like very hard to beat that, especially when it's already at min delay. But if I had found that on like D3, D4, then I would have probably gone for it, and I probably wouldn't have acquired the execax, and it would be a bit of a different character. It would still be doing very similar things. It wouldn't really be that different. Um, would still be a strong melee character. It feels so nice to have a corridor as a worshipper of Maclef. Um, yeah, just like this, I align myself and I just like shoot them with some beams, and then they're softened up, and I just finish them off with my tap. Um, the best thing about that is that the destruction ability does not cost any piety at all. You can spam that. The only boundary, of course, is your level of HP because it does cost, in this case, 16 whole HP. It's kind of expensive. Or at least it costs for me 16 HP. The cost scales with your max HP. Keep that in mind for when you're playing Maclef. But it is a pretty okay thing to have. And I only have 15 invocations. I could maybe get more than that. Yeah, sure. Let's just max it. Hit my caps lock by accident. Spriggan Circer. Dangerous enemy. Usually the herald of nasty things, though in this case it was only accompanied by another Spriggan Berserker. Oh, I got fragile. That could be bad. We have 2 pips of resistance to negative. We should hopefully be okay. I don't have charges of Tin of Tremor Stones. Yeah, that is a shame. I could really use some charges of Tin of Tremor Stones right now. Let's go for the next best thing, which is Ice Blast. Okay, we got rid of the Circer, which was the thing that I was most worried about. Um, those Fragile Eyes spook me pretty thoroughly. I think they spook me more than the previous Floating Eyes. And this feels like one of those depths bolts. Gotta play it careful here. Yeah, okay. We're progressing pretty fast through depths. We're already in depth 3. I checked to see if I hadn't gotten shafted or something, but no, we're fine. Want to... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to wait instead of just... I pressed 5 by accident. Hey, look at that! Another reflection kill. That is pretty unusual, especially with no shield, you know? The 5 shield from the amulet is contributing way more than you would think it would. When it comes to the Frostbound Tome, I have mentioned to the developers in the past that it doesn't really make a lot of sense that you can neutralize it so easily by just standing next to it. Because here's the thing. Right now I'm in a corridor, so even if it's someone's, it's not gonna shoot. But if you're in the open and you're next to it, the spells will never shoot themselves at you, and that is something that I have directly mentioned to the developers. I was like, I feel like this enemy doesn't make a lot of sense because of that, because it's so easy to neutralize, and the developers were like, yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the future they got buffed, or maybe not necessarily buffed, but like reworked, so that they are less powerful in melee and they're immune to ice blasts, so the spells can actually throw themselves at you, or maybe the spells get enhanced targeting so that they can always target you but not target the summoner. I feel like those would make more sense than how it is right now. As it is right now, it's just like a reasonably strong melee enemy that can deal damage at you from afar, but doesn't really do that often. Mm, okay, I got the Maclef buff, so I'm shredding through everything. And I take it that the execution ability also gets benefit from my slaying. Didn't the base damage of this it went up? What didn't it? Now it's 14. Are you telling me that this ability also scales with experience level? Yep, absolute blender. Things are just dying really, really fast while I have that up. And yeah, it is getting benefited by my 11 slaying. So okay, it turns out that if you have that ability, getting slaying is extra good. I mean, it's already a really good thing to have when it comes to having such a high quality weapon as the one that I have. Um, but it's extra good with two sources of slaying, especially if both of them are triggering every turn that you melee. Um, Unfortunately, it is a really unreliable thing. Like I would love it if it triggered after a certain amount of kills, so that you're incentivized to get into long fights with like a large amount of enemies. But it really doesn't work like that as far as I am aware. It just happens sometimes. This time it triggered super fast, so we're gonna take advantage of it. This guy has a 12% chance to petrify me. But it's about to die, so I'm just gonna tap it. I was going to drink resistance, so I don't get petrified here, because getting petrified here could reasonably kill me. Fortunately, it does not happen, and I indeed just kill everything. I think that's crazy. Hmm. And that is it for Depths 3. So far, so good. Keep in mind that I only have 2 runes. I still need to get a third one. I have 9 scrolls of blinking. I think in the entirety of the game I found like 15 or so, because there was a point where I ran out of blinkings, And now we are back at having a good amount of blinkings. Okay, unfortunately, something hit me there for 52. It was a combination attack. I got hit by the Caustic Strike and the Ancient Champ. Um, hmm, hmm. Okay, we get an exec. I think at this point, that might be the nicest thing to get. Getting pretty roughed up here, which is surprising to me because I have resistance to corrosion, but I guess these guys are a force to be reckoned with. With that 36 melee attack and like large amounts of attacks, it's kind of rough. And the worst thing here is that there's more where that came from, so I should start thinking about making a tactical retreat. That fight from the very beginning didn't really go in my favor. I can probably get away with killing this guy. Yep. And now we go upstairs. Have you ever thought about the ridiculous amount of murder that a crawl character commits in its journey to get the orb of Sot? Because yeah, like in a normal run, you kill like more than 1,000 monsters. Can you imagine someone doing that in real life, like a single person engaging in direct combat versus 1,000 enemies in the course of its life, I guess, and actually beating them all because it is kind of a crazy thing to think about. Um, do not vanish me. Do not vanish me, please. Okay. Within a few hours, go from killing literal bugs to killing demons and giants with ease. Yeah, large amounts of demons and giants and dragons as well. We are the bad guys. Yeah, if you think about it, like I've always thought that the crawl protagonist is kind of a murder hobo that comes in to disturb the peace of the dungeon. Of course, everything is gonna try to kill the player character, right? There is a reason why the player character has no friends in this accursed place known as the dungeon. Um, yeah, I think we can enchant these boots. Miyamoto Musashi tried to beat that guy. Sekiro tries to do it as Shura. Yeah, the Shura ending is my least favorite one because it means that the game ends faster. But I like the Ishin fight. I don't like the Emma fight. I feel like the Emma fight hurts the feels too much to be enjoyable. But the Ishin fight is really cool. That one I do not mind. I have not forgotten about playing Sekiro on stream with the new computer. By the way, I definitely keep it in mind, and it is gonna happen in time, probably soon. Maybe I treat myself to that after I am done with Crawl September. You think this is turning out to be your favorite god now? It's incredible. A passive god. Well, it is not necessarily like entirely a passive god now. It does have some really powerful active abilities, but it is mostly a passive god still, in my opinion, because of the whole shadow thingy. The actives are just icing on top of the cake that is the strong passive of the shadow. But yeah, your favorite god, like I can see how that could be the case. I think that for myself, my favorite god is still Behemoth. We have +2 globes and we have +1 globes of resistance to electricity and 5 intelligence. I'm gonna buy it just for the drip because I don't really need them, but I am a deep dwarf and I can enchant artifacts, so why wouldn't I enchant artifacts? Um, I can enchant the chainmail of Regen to +8, so I can put 2 scrolls on it. Um, but I don't think it matters that much since I'm not even wearing it at the moment. 4 slaying, 4 strength. Yeah, we want one of those. That is wow. Okay, now I have 71 damage. Um, the strength gain that I have gotten, it's kind of noticeable. Yeah, it's kind of noticeable. Not only like the strength that I just got from the ring, but also the level 21 strength level up. Come on, Curare the Juggernaut. You cannot miss the Juggernaut 3 times. It is a literal giant. I do think that if I was a giant, it would be pretty difficult for Curare to slow me to the degree that the Juggernaut gets slowed when it gets hit by Curare, but I would also be getting hit by all of the Curare. Like, there's no way I'm dodging that, right? Even giants aren't bigger than 1 square. Yeah, even giants and dragons. Um, some uniques are 2 tiles tall, but tiles are not canon because in console they only take up 1 square. Um, sure, let's go do the abyss. And what is going to be my plan for the abyss? Well, first we go back and get an amulet of regen. Let me drop some things that I'm not gonna use, like that, and these, and maybe these. I do not like charming. Like, I definitely would take paralysis over charming every time. If I could choose, I would always choose paralysis over charming. We can probably drop these as well. And then we put this on. And we also wear this. And now we have 3 sources of regen again. 3 regen per turn. And we can also wear these for a bit. Yeah, we really like nerfed ourselves way too much. Like, my damage rating went down by like 20, but it's okay because it's not gonna stay like that for the rest of the game. I'm just switching to my defensive gear precisely for the purpose of doing the abyss, where it is ideal to not fight for extended periods of time. And yep, if I have 3 regen per turn, like, getting into a fight is not really gonna be that much of a problem. I would like to believe. Um, okay, what is going on? Why did the abyss decide to do that? Is it something that happens if you get out and get back into the abyss now? Like, is that how the abyss works? Did the abyss get reworked in 0.31? Does anyone know? Any knowers in the chat? I got ganked all of a sudden. A bunch of monsters were summoned on top of me. It's fine. Um, yeah, I was sick for a bit, but I think the sickness goes away faster the faster you regen. And once again, I have 3 regen per turn. Delightful. That random berserkitis that I got from that wretched star that was in my presence for like 3 turns was quite annoying. But fortunately, it was only a temporary mutation that I already got rid of. We can take this time to get rid of that. Go back in, and finally we find the Beast 2. Let's see if we can find the Beast 3. Hey, Abyss 3, okay. The Abyssal Rune of Sot can be found. Excuse me? Why did I go down to Abyss for? I did not want to do that. Or did the game just teleport me deeper into the Abyss? Because, yeah, I wanted to stop at Abyss 3. Abyss 3 is my happy place when it comes to finding the rune. Okay, you detect the rune. It is a bit far, but we can definitely get to it. Ah, Kraken. If it's only one Kraken, that's like an easy kill, as you can see. Yep, goodbye Kraken. Nothing to be afraid of here. Nothing that we cannot handle. This is actually tame in terms of room bolt layouts. Yeah, it helps a lot that I have flying too. Maybe let's not walk into the chaos of the Applecraft. Pretty cool bolt with the rune lights. Okay, that was a bit scary. And we have the rune number 3, so now we can get out of here. Mr. Deva has a tower shield because Devas always have one of those. Control left Abyss in 0.31 nodes and didn't see anything, but who knows? Maybe I just got really lucky. Or really, well, would you say it's lucky to have something like that happen? I don't necessarily think it was lucky, but like it was a thing that happened indeed. Grab the Eudemon Blade as a trophy because those are rare. And now we can get out of here. There we go. That is 3 runes. And now we can wear these and we can put on these instead of these. Instead of these, actually. Yeah. I like these. I like these. We sacrifice resistance to corrosion and see invisible for 3 pips of fire resistance all the time, so I don't get ganked by an orb of fire. And we are also going to put on the Slaying Amulet again. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Looks like some really respectable resistances and damage output. Now we have 69 damage rating. I wonder why that is. It used to be 71. Hmm. No, really, why is that? I have absolutely no idea. Didn't get malmutated or anything. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, going into SOT, experience level 22. I would love to have the McLev Invocations title. Like, not necessarily 27 invocations, but I do want the McLev Invocations title. We're really close. My title right now is Access at 24, and we're at 23.6 invocations. So we are gonna get to it, almost guaranteed. Or I could die before I get to it. Like, that's why it's not guaranteed. But ideally, that's not gonna happen. That is a lot of enemies. Thinking about how I want to approach this, I have the option of stepping forward, reading Immolation, going Tin of Tremorstone, Sicko mode, Unleash Destruction kind of thing. But that might be a bit scary. On the other hand, offense is the best defense in this game. There's a wall here, like glass. So yeah, I think that we're fine. I think that I'm just gonna get to a corridor. Any corridors? Because I feel like I beat them, but yeah, we should be fine here. What is it turning into? Great Orb of Eyes. That could be annoying. Okay, it is not annoying. Fortunately, I can just ignore that. Champion of Chaos. Nice title. Can I see how much damage this thing does? Damage 3 dice of 21? Seriously? I mean, I guess it's okay. We cannot really be too picky, considering that it's an ability that doesn't cost piety. 3 dice of 21 beam for like only training invocations is definitely not bad at all. Um, I'm a deep dwarf, but imagine if I was a demon spawn, I wouldn't really be able to get away with having a 3 dice of 21 beam in heavy armor. Apart from McLev's, so that's why it's not that powerful. I feel it also doesn't scale with intelligence, right? I wonder if it scales with experience level, like things often do secretly. Yeah, I have my secret wand of digging that I only got 4 charges of this game. Um, I think that the time to use those charges is definitely sought. Yeah, if you don't use those charges in SOT, when are you going to use the charges, right? No, I turned into alligators. Okay, those alligators are berserk. That's actually not as not threatening as I originally thought. And I went for a random blink. Didn't really get a good random blink, so we are just gonna control blink away from that. Mm, some berserking rat roaches. Things are getting pretty spooky here. We get some zombies. Are those zombies? No, they're death cops. They kind of look like zombies in console. I got damnation burst. I should be okay. Getting 3 death cops from scroll summoning is kind of huge. Yeah, they are getting killed, but they definitely got the job done before that. All right, nice save because things were getting too spicy there. I was gonna die if I continued fighting there. Um, the Death Cops softened up the enemies quite a bit, and so I can finish off the rest without really any kind of problem. And now we have to deal with a Zerg Quicksilver Dragon. Let's see if we can net it. We do successfully net it. Curare. We do curare it, of course we do, since it was netted, and we don't need to net it again. I only netted for the curare. Pretty good. Hoarding resources, digging one, blink scroll, etc. couldn't be me. I mean, it's not precisely hoarding resources. It's more like the game decided to throw a lot of blinkings at me and one wand of digging with 4 charges. Yeah, like it didn't give me a lot of digging, but it did give me quite a lot of blinking. I have these 9 blinkings, and before that, because it's not like I went through the whole game without using blinkings. I just got lucky that I found that much blinking. Do I have mites? Okay, I do have mites. Yeah, I have not used any of those actually. So we do have some nice resources for SOT 5. Um, okay, that golden dragon went Cirque, but it didn't go Cirque fast enough, like early enough. It was already really hurt. Classic mistake for new crawl players is to berserk as a last ditch resource when that's really not how you're supposed to use berserk. Or at least that was the stereotype back in the day. I have been a little bit disconnected from the community, so maybe that's not how it works anymore. I seem to be very good at using what I need when I need, from what you have seen. Yeah, like I try my best to go for the play that doesn't cost me resources. That is also something that I do in Rift Wizard, because just like in Rift Wizard, in Crawl, your non-HP resources are highly, highly valuable. Like specifically in Rift Wizard 2, you will always get like an HP refill at the end of the level, so you can pay in HP and it's fine. But you will not get like a teleporter or something along those lines, or a potion even in Rift Wizard. And in Crawl it is the same. You can always get back your HP, but um, you will not get back your scrolls of blinking, right? Like those are a rare and precious commodity, and you should treat them precisely like that. Um, to the point where like it should probably be your last resource to use a scroll blinking. Mm, saved for when you truly, absolutely need them, and if you don't use a scroll blinking, you're gonna die. So I try my best to think of situations where, or like, lines of play that end up with me not having to use scrolls of blinking. Most of the other consumables are okay to use liberally. Like if you run out of fears of Fogu, it's okay. Even if you run out of teles, which is pretty rare because teles are a super common scroll, it's fine. But if you run out of blinkings, you're in trouble because blinking is that powerful. Um, got a lot of wand of ice blast. I feel like I have been using it quite a bit in this game, and I have not run out of it somehow. It's fine, just learn C Blink like in Rift Wizard. Yeah. That is much more of a thing in Rift Wizard 1 than in Rift Wizard 2. Funny that you mention it. In Rift Wizard 2, I don't really get translocations that often, but in Rift Wizard 1, translocations are king. Um, I don't know exactly why it is that I don't value mobility as much in Rift Wizard 1 compared to Rift Wizard, or in Rift Wizard 2 compared to Rift Wizard 1. Um, but I have found myself very rarely getting mobility spells. Even when I'm like I don't even know what to get anymore, I don't immediately think of getting blink. Wonder why that is. Because I really don't know why that is. I mean, I feel crazy strong. You have to be a special kind of strong to be able to beat a draconian band in a corridor with these defenses, without dying in the process. Okay, Orb of Fire number 1. Do I buff for this guy? Nah, let's just summon a guy. All right, that went very well. I got a bad mutation. I got like stat rot. Let me see. Did this get buffed? I guess not. Yeah, that Orb of Fire didn't really stand a chance, but we do have 3 pips of fire resistance, and once again, um, 69 damage rating. I don't know what's up with that, because last time I checked it was about 71. What changed between then and now? Like, I don't think that I took off any, like... Oh, I know what happened. I was not wearing the -2 strength ring. That is what's reducing my damage output. But it's fine. Okay, so 2 death cuffs plus park hit is actually quite scary. I don't think I beat that. Not in the open. Um, hmm. Man, I know already that I have a really good chance of losing this fight, so I don't want to take it. But I don't know if I should. Like, Tele is kind of a meme in thought. Like, it's gonna take a million years to trigger. But it might be the correct play because, like, there's no way that I'm running away from this. Like, these are just gonna slow me and kill me. I don't want to blink, and I don't really want to haste because even if I haste, like, these are still gonna hit me quite a bit. So I think that I'm just gonna Tele and dig a hole here, and then just wait it out. Yeah, this is a bit scary. Maybe even quite scary. I kind of want to blink, but I don't want to blink into these guys. I blink into that, and that's really bad. Fogu? Okay. The teleport didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take me. Like, I thought that there was still going to be like 5 or so turns before I teleported. Mm. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that was a pretty fast teleport. It was like 10 turns. Yeah, that was really, really fast. Or maybe it was because I was slow, then I was moving while slow. So it was not actually 10 turns, it was 10 actions, but it was more than 10 turns. And that's what made it seem like it was fast. Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I think that I can kill Park Hit alone, but not Park Hit with support. Definitely not Park Hit plus Death Cops. You have poison resistance because gold scales. So 2 Blizzard Demons? I mean, I guess the Executioners wouldn't really do a lot versus this guy. So I guess that's fine. Park Hit dies. Troller Armor Park Hit is intact enough to wear. I do think that it's pretty funny that Parkit can drop Troll Letter when he also drops +7 or sometimes even more highly enchanted gold skills. Like, who would kill Parkit and be like, finally Troll Letter? I think that Parkit should drop like some kind of Randart or on Randart to be more precise. Like, you know how Tiamat drops the her cloak thingy, Orchid should drop really, really nice troll letter because there's like, what kind of character is going to choose the troll letter instead of the gold skills? It would be nice if that kind of character also got rewarded for killing Parkit. So it would be hype for pretty much every character to find Parkit and be incentivized to fight Parkit, not only the characters that may want the skills. Which, by the way, I think I could use them, but I don't. I wonder how bad my evasion would be with the skill. Let's actually try them on. 1397. Give a troll letter of regen plus 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 plus. That would be pretty funny. And yeah, these defenses look well. These resistances look okay. Defenses not so much. 7 evasion is kind of spooky. Um, Yeah, those would be pretty okay to use, but I'm gonna go for maximum offense as I have been doing. Um, yeah, that damage rating is not gonna go up um, until I get more strength somehow. Which I leveled up to 24 and I just got strength. That's what happened. Okay. Berserk Storm Dragon is not really that much of a problem. It would be a problem if it was like multiples or if I had been slow, but it was fine. I'm strong enough to deal with that kind of thing. Or maybe I just got lucky rolls. That is also a possibility. Or really, exploration trap into the monsters that I'm precisely trying to reposition against, because I'm not necessarily trying to run away from these guys, but I'm trying to reposition because fighting them like this is not good. I might have to blink. I found a blinking slot, so I'm at 9. A fear could work. And I know that these guys are kind of weak to being charmed. Do I have my Wand of Charming? I dropped it earlier. Things that maybe I shouldn't have done because I do have some training in evocations. Yeah, that Wand of Charming could be useful right now, and I bet I even have the space to carry it. Yeah, I'm at 51 out of 52. Could definitely carry that without a lot of complications. Um, well, that is a shame. I'm not gonna fear these guys because they're purple. They're too purple to be hexed like that. Huh. How do we approach this situation? Like once again, I am thinking of ways to do this without having to blink away because blink is like the ultimate response to any bad situation, but I don't know if this is worth it. I think that I can probably get away with literally just walking to a choke point or something. Let's see if my hypothesis is true. Oof, 45. The worst part here is that I got hit by the anti-magic and then I got slowed. It says your magical effects are unraveling. I wonder if that will remove the slow that was applied after I got hit. It didn't. Of course it didn't. That's how it should work. Um, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so now I feel like we do need to blink. I tried and it didn't really work very well. And of course, the shifter immediately blinks me away from the stairs. That was my last charge of digging too, so no more wand of digging for me. The one weakness that this character does have. Did I managed to fear the shifter. That's crazy. And of course, it immediately cornered the purple draconian shifter turns to fight. How did you even explain that? Can I be in like I wanted to read Fogu. I accidentally went for fear instead of Fogu. Mm, beautiful. Your magical effects are unraveling. I'm getting destroyed here. This is actually really bad. Okay, but a lucky blink fixes everything. I'm going to wait here, see if the scroll summoning kills the shifters and stuff. Makes things easier for me. Oh, they blink next to me. Purple Draconian Shifter goes Berserk. It's for 30. Oh, base 20. So now the enhancement from Berserk is shown here. That's nice. I'm gonna have to see when the next time that a Golden Dragon gets circed. Because those guys have some ridiculous damage output if they're circed. I didn't. It wasn't circed for. Oh no, it is circed. Still beautiful. All right, that went surprisingly well. The scroll summoning just killed everything. No wonder it's a pretty rare thing to have. Um, and apparently I was fighting the remainder of the level at the same time, all of it together. 27 armor class. I'm gonna stop at that point. So many Cirque Draconians. Yeah, that was not something that I would have survived if I hadn't had the corridor. I was here and I was like, let me open the door so that I don't get multi-sapped by the dragon. Like even though I have the resistance, let's avoid just getting chunked like that for no reason. And then I was like, wait a second, why don't I just secure the corridor, right? Um, and that saved me there. If I had not been in the corridor um, when I was fighting the dragon or the draconians, it would have been really bad. Berserk draconians really hurt, especially if you're surrounded by them. Okay, we have file of lots for these Drac Annihilators. Get over here. Stop running away from me. Oh, okay. Oof. Okay, so if you're unaware of what happened, I hit an exploration trap teleport, and I was like, "Ooh, exploration trap teleporting SOT 5. I'm probably gonna die." But no, I'm not in the vault. And like the scariest part was like this oddly symmetrical structure. But then I saw like the stairs and the doors, and I was like, "No, I'm not in the vault." Um, I do still think that I shouldn't be fighting draconians like that. And there's a corridor right here. Perfectly good corridor for fighting draconians on. Beautiful. The difference between having a corridor and not having a corridor when fighting things in this place is absolutely massive. Magic mapping, because we must not forget to use magic mapping. It looks to me like this part, this long, the right one seems easier. Um, some of the guardians that very clearly got out of the sod vault. Nothing to be afraid of. Orb of fire. Sure, I guess we can use some might just to speed up the process of killing that guy. And yeah, that went really well. I'm dealing real damage with might. Look at that. 4 exclamation marks on the orb of fire. It just exploded. And also, let's not forget that when I have the Maklev ability, I just like do extra damage. Hey, look at that, 2 orbs of fire. If there's a situation to use Might Haste on, it is this one. I feel a little less murderous for the moment. Boo. It is a pretty significant power spike when it does happen. So I like the buff, at, the boon that I got from Maclef. At first, I thought that it was a bit disappointing, but the more the game goes on, the more impactful it is, and of course, it's gotten significantly more powerful now that I have 11 slaying. And it also synergizes pretty well with Might, since Might adds a little bit of damage as well. Um, yeah, I'm liking this. And well, I've already fought many of the things that should be in here. I fought them out. Oh, yeah, okay. Apparently, I didn't fight enough. That could be a problem. That is definitely going to be a problem. This is what we do. We blink, we fogu, we drink mutation, because I got malmutated quite a bit. Finally, 2 orbs of fire with a berserky mod. Just hold tab. I don't think that is gonna work this time. We keep drinking mutation. There we go. Okay, now the monsters are pretty close to me. No, I still have a couple of turns of time. I'm gonna secure the corridor, in fact. And then we're gonna haste might. I got berserkitis, delightful. Hopefully I don't circ here. Circing would be dangerous. Ah, I did get Cirque. That's a Cursed Toe. If I get Cursed Toe here, that would be pretty horrific. It might kill me, levels of bad. Storm Dragon at the edge of line of sight. And on the other side, we have the Killer Clown that just blinked away. You block the Clown Pie and reflect it back. The Clown Pie hits the Killer Clown. Blueberry. The Killer Clown loses the ability to speak. Unsilenced mute. What do you mean by unsilenced? Yeah, unfortunately we did get berserked, but at least we were hasted, so we're normal speed. Perks of being hasted. Let me drink mutation again. I don't want to have berserkitis. And that's another orb of fire. Why am I slow? Let's get rid of that. Alright, that went really well. That went really well. Also, the McClef heal there was kind of crazy. I was at 224 and it just healed me to full after I killed the Orb of Fire. Okay, that's a bit too many Orbs of Fire. Still doesn't beat that time that I was fighting 10 Orbs of Fire at the same time. I did have a corridor, however, and silver jabs. Without silver jabs and a corridor, it would have been a pretty complicated thing to do. That was fine. What can I say about New McClef? It's been funny. It's not really that new of a New McClef, you know? And you know what I should be doing here? I should be reading Teleport and just picking up the orb. Because I just got marked, so I'm gonna have to fight the whole other long if I don't teleport out of here. I'm gonna step on this tele trap. I hope that it doesn't get me killed. Okay, the tele trap barely did anything, but I did get a massive teleport from my scroll. So we can just get out now. Another nice tele trap for me. Seraph Band, I don't want to have anything to do with that. This would be the time where I would use digging if I had one. Unfortunately, we don't, but it's not that much of a problem. It's just that it is a good idea to avoid fighting as much as possible in the Orb run. You never know when you're gonna be delayed just enough to be assaulted by a Damnation Torment Banlord that is faster than you. Or a Hell Sentinel. Those are also pretty bad. Except when you happen to hit them crazy hard somehow. Yeah, like once again we reflect something with our 5 shield. I am astonished at how often the reflection has like been triggering. This is pretty crazy, you know? What a crazy run, really. My defenses are not really my normal defenses, but the sheer level of offense that I have has been more than enough to compensate for that, and was more than enough to compensate for that. Um, 70 damage rating. Let's see if I can get rid of my mutations. Yeah, that's fine. Um, Now it's 72. My defenses seem amazing, 27-13. I don't know. I am more of a fan of 30-30 defenses or 40-40 defenses if possible. I think it's a very special kind of character if you can get 40-40 defenses. Um, but yeah, 27-13, but I was just killing things fast enough with all of my slaying and my auxiliary attack and speed branded X attacks. It got the job done. Yeah, sweet. This will, of course, be on YouTube, Plotny. In case you didn't catch part one, I'll put that on YouTube at some point very soon. You're doing your second rune, and all you've got is called resistance, no willpower, no resistance to fire, no resistance to elect, no resistance to poison. Yeah, I was super lucky. For the longest time, I had one pip of everything. And yeah, great resistances, meh defenses, but great resistances and great damage output, and that's more than enough. Yeah, all of these scrolls of enchant armor never really enchanted anything. Um, Good run, very fun. Sometimes like you just have to be honest with Kroll and be like, look, I'm not chains to you anymore. So if you give me a bad run or too many bad runs in a row, I can just turn you off and stream something else. And then Kroll will be like, okay, fair enough. I'll give you an extra access speed that you can enchant as a mountain dwarf. And yeah, sometimes it is like that. All right, that was a run of Kroll. And I can play something else. And in fact, I started with Crawl precisely because I anticipated that going that way, and I would have time to play something else. What should I play now?